That shopping cart is in your hands right now, and what's inside it is not what you think. Bright packaging sold as freshness. Ultra-processed food disguised as healthy choices. Sodium-heavy meals marketed as quick, convenient wins. For decades, Carrefour has been one of the most trusted names in grocery retail, a place families rely on, a brand associated with value, quality, and everyday essentials. But the Carrefour you shop at today is not the same company people grew up trusting. We looked into what changed after large-scale corporate expansion reshaped how food is sourced, priced, and marketed. We examined what's really inside the most popular products, especially those aimed at families and children, and linked it to growing health concerns. What we found is disturbing. This isn't just about groceries. It's about how convenience quietly replaced nutrition, and how an entire system profits when customers stop asking questions. These are the uncomfortable truths shoppers need to know about Carrefour. Let's dive in. Carrefour isn't just a supermarket, it's a cornerstone of daily life for millions. Every week, families, students, and busy professionals fill their carts with groceries, household items, and even electronics. From breakfast cereals to laundry detergent, from fresh produce to the latest gadgets, Carrefour promises a one-stop shopping experience. Convenience, low prices, and endless variety make it feel like the perfect solution for anyone juggling time, budget, and family needs. But the truth is more complicated than the neatly stacked aisles and glossy labels. What you see on the shelves is carefully curated to look appealing and trustworthy, but appearances can be deceiving. Behind those promotions, every discount and every fresh sticker lies a system designed to maximize profit, and sometimes that comes at a cost you don't see on your receipt. For years, shoppers assumed that a Carrefour visit meant quality and safety. Parents bought snacks for their kids, thinking they were making smart choices. Busy workers picked ready-made meals, trusting that what they were buying was wholesome. The reality? Many products are ultra-processed, loaded with hidden sugars, sodium, and preservatives. Even items marketed as healthy or fresh often hide additives that can harm your health over time. Carrefour has become more than a store. It's part of our routines, our traditions, and even our identities. That's why understanding what's really happening inside the aisles matters. This isn't just about one shopping trip, it's about millions of Canadians unknowingly consuming foods and products that may be affecting their health, finances, and future. On the surface, Carrefour seems like the perfect place to shop. Brightly lit aisles, neatly stacked shelves, and signs promising low prices and fresh produce make it feel trustworthy. You walk in thinking you're making smart choices for your family, your health, and your budget. But the reality behind those aisles is far more complicated and far more concerning. Behind the convenience and marketing lies a system built to maximize profit, often at the expense of consumers. Products are engineered to look healthy, taste irresistible, and last longer on the shelf, but not necessarily to nourish you. Ultra-processed foods dominate the shelves, including pre-packaged meals, snacks labeled natural, and even items marketed to children. Many of these products are packed with hidden sugars, excess sodium, and preservatives designed to keep them stable in warehouses for weeks or even months. What's on the package rarely tells the full story. It's not just food quality. Pricing is carefully designed to make you spend more while thinking you're saving. Promotional tags, multi-buy offers, and price comparisons create the illusion of value, even when the real cost is higher. Meanwhile, corporate strategies prioritize efficiency and margin over health, freshness, or ethical sourcing. Fresh produce may be stored for days under artificial conditions. Bakery items are often pre-made, frozen, and reheated in store. What you see as fresh is actually industrially processed. The consequences of this system are far-reaching. Families believe they're making better choices while unknowingly consuming foods that contribute to rising obesity, diabetes, and long-term health problems. Children grow up normalizing snacks and meals loaded with additives, shaping habits that will last a lifetime. Meanwhile, shoppers unknowingly spend more money chasing convenience and perceived saving. In this investigation, we're going to expose exactly what's happening inside Carrefour. We'll break down the food, the labels, the pricing tricks, and the corporate decisions driving it all. By the end, you'll see that your weekly shopping trip is not as harmless or as safe as you've been led to believe. What you thought was a simple trip for groceries may actually be part of a system working against your health, your wallet, and your family's future. To understand how Carrefour became the supermarket we know today, we need to go back to the beginning. Founded decades ago as a neighborhood-focused store, Carrefour started with a simple mission: provide quality products at fair prices to the local community. Shoppers could trust that the fresh produce came from local suppliers, the bread was baked nearby, and meat and dairy were handled with care. Families felt a connection to their store, employees knew regular customers by name, and every visit had a sense of personal personal attention and pride. Back then, Carrefour wasn't just about convenience or variety. It was about quality, freshness, and trust. Local suppliers and small-scale production meant that what you bought in the morning was genuinely fresh, often produced that same day. The shelves were stocked carefully, prioritizing both customer satisfaction and community relationships. Shoppers didn't just leave with groceries, they left with confidence that what they were taking home was safe, wholesome, and reliable. Fast forward to today, and the picture has changed dramatically. Carrefour is now part of a global retail conglomerate, operating under centralized production, long supply chains, and aggressive cost-cutting strategies. Many products that once came from local farms and bakeries are now industrially produced in massive factories, shipped across hundreds of kilometers and stored for days or weeks before reaching shelves. Freshness has become a logistical challenge, and quality often takes a back seat to speed, uniformity, and shelf life. The personal touch that once defined Carrefour is largely gone. Local staff may still be friendly, but they no longer control sourcing or production decisions. Instead, corporate policies dictate which products are stocked, how they're labeled, and how long they can stay on shelves. The store you see today is efficient, consistent, and convenient, but it's also a far cry from the neighborhood supermarket of the past. This history isn't just about nostalgia. Understanding where Carrefour came from and how it shifted from a community-focused store to a globalized supermarket chain helps explain why so many modern shoppers are unknowingly buying products that prioritize profit over health, quality, and trust. The transformation of Carrefour from a neighborhood supermarket to a global retail powerhouse didn't happen by accident. As the company expanded internationally, its priorities shifted, and not always in the best interest of shoppers. What once focused on local quality, freshness, and trust became a system designed to maximize efficiency, uniformity, and profit margins. Central to this transformation was the move to centralized production. Instead of sourcing bread, pastries, and other fresh products locally, Carrefour began producing these items in massive factories. They are partially baked, frozen, and shipped across regions to stores where employees simply reheat them before sale. The illusion of freshness remained, but the reality was industrial, pre-packaged, and engineered for long shelf life. Ingredients and processes were chosen not for flavor or nutrition, but for stability, consistency, and cost-effectiveness. Alongside production changes came tighter control over suppliers and cost-cutting measures. Contracts with local farms and bakeries were reduced or replaced entirely with large-scale industrial suppliers. Products were formulated to last longer on shelves, with added preservatives, stabilizers, and flavor enhancers. Even items marketed as fresh or natural were often heavily processed to withstand transport and storage. Carrefour also refined its pricing and marketing strategies to encourage more spending. Multi-buy offers, cleverly designed promotions, and eye-catching discount tags make consumers believe they are saving, when in reality, the system drives higher overall sales. Corporate research teams constantly analyze shopper behavior, ensuring that every product placement, price point, and promotional tactic nudges customers toward higher margin items. All of these changes were deliberate. Global expansion and profit maximization became the top priorities, with quality, freshness, and local community connections taking a back seat. While the stores maintained the same recognizable branding, the experience inside the aisles shifted toward efficiency and consistency, not the wholesome, trustworthy supermarket of the past. The result is a store that looks familiar but operates very differently. Your shopping cart may be filled with the same products you've always trusted, but the reality behind them, the sourcing, processing, and corporate strategy, is designed to serve the company first, the consumer second. This is the turning point that explains why, despite appearances, shopping at Carrefour today is no longer the safe, straightforward choice it once was. Now let's look at what you're actually buying at Carrefour. The bright packaging, colorful labels, and fresh signage may hide a very different reality. Our investigation revealed 4 major areas of concern: food quality, pricing tricks, ingredients, and health impact. Food quality. Walk down the fresh produce aisle and everything looks perfect. Apples shiny, vegetables crisp, fruits plump. But a closer look shows many of these products are pre-packaged, treated with chemicals to preserve appearance, and often shipped from distant suppliers. Local, seasonal freshness is rare. Bakery items once baked in store are now produced in centralized factories, partially baked, frozen, and reheated before sale. What appears as fresh bread or pastries is actually industrially processed food engineered for shelf life. Pricing tricks. Carrefour's pricing is clever. Shelf tags highlight discounts that may only apply when buying multiples, or labels comparing prices that are misleading. For example, a single package of ready-to-eat pasta may appear cheaper than buying it elsewhere, but the multi-buy offer encourages you to spend more more overall. Eye-level placement and limited-time deals manipulate perception, making shoppers feel they're saving while the system maximizes profit. Ingredient analysis. Many products contain long lists of additives, stabilizers, and preservatives. Pre-packaged ready meals, sauces, and snacks often include sugar, sodium, modified starches, flavor enhancers, and artificial colors. One frozen lasagna can contain over 1,200 milligrams of sodium, more than half the recommended daily limit. Packaged pastries and snacks may have 25 to 30 grams of sugar in a single portion, sometimes disguised under terms like dextrose or glucose syrup. Compare that to a homemade meal with real ingredients. One fresh lasagna portion may have only 400 to 500 milligrams of sodium and minimal added sugar. Environmental and health impact. The consequences extend beyond taste. Regular consumption of ultra-processed, sodium-heavy, and sugar-laden foods is linked to obesity, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and long-term cardiovascular risks. Millions of Canadians unknowingly eat multiple products like this each week. When children are exposed to processed snacks labeled as fun or healthy, they develop eating habits that last a lifetime. Beyond health, the centralized supply chain increases environmental impact. Long-distance transport, energy-intensive freezing, and heavy packaging contribute to a larger carbon footprint. Every aisle, every package, every price tag at Carrefour is part of a system engineered for convenience and profit, but not necessarily for your health. When you compare these products to home-cooked meals, local markets, or smaller suppliers, the difference is clear. Fresher ingredients, simpler recipes, lower sugar and sodium, and better control over what you and your family consume. Shopping here isn't inherently unsafe, but it comes with hidden costs: financial, nutritional, and environmental. And most shoppers have no idea these risks are lurking behind the glossy packaging. The choices you make at Carrefour don't just affect today's grocery bill, they have long-term consequences for your health, your family, and even society as a whole. Millions of Canadians unknowingly consume ultra-processed foods laden with hidden sugars, sodium, and chemical additives every week. Over time, these habits add up, contributing directly to rising rates of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. Health Canada reports that nearly 64% of adults are overweight or obese, a dramatic increase from 44% in 1978. Childhood obesity has tripled since the 1980s, with 1 in 3 Canadian children now classified as overweight or obese. Studies show that early exposure to highly processed, sugar-laden foods increases the likelihood of lifelong poor eating habits, which can lead to chronic health conditions at younger ages. Carrefour's heavily processed ready meals, sugary snacks, and sodium-rich packaged products are a significant part of this problem. A single pre-packaged meal or dessert can contain more than half the recommended daily sodium intake or surpass daily sugar limits for adults and children alike. When such products become a routine part of daily life, families are unintentionally normalizing unhealthy eating habits. The impact isn't just physical. Financially, Canadians are spending billions more on products marketed as affordable, often manipulated by multi-buy promotions and shelf tag tricks. Parents buying what seems like a bargain may end up paying more for foods that are nutritionally inferior to fresh, home-prepared alternatives. Emotionally, children develop preferences for highly processed, overly sweet foods, shaping their habits and tastes for years to come. Shopping at Carrefour is convenient, but convenience comes with hidden costs. By prioritizing processed foods, profit-driven pricing strategies, and shelf-stable products over health and transparency, Carrefour contributes to a cycle that affects both wallets and well-being. Understanding these hidden impacts is crucial. It's not just a grocery trip, it's a decision that shapes long-term health, finances, and family habits. Not all Carrefour stores are created equal. You might walk into one location and find neatly stacked shelves, fresh produce, and friendly staff. Everything looks clean, organized, and safe. But just a few blocks away, or even in the same city, another store can tell a very different story. Expired products left on shelves, mislabeled prices, sticky floors, and poorly handled refrigerated items are not uncommon. Shopping at Carrefour can feel like a game of chance, a roulette wheel where the outcome is unpredictable. This inconsistency is not accidental. It stems from the franchise and management model Carrefour uses. Local store managers are responsible for day-to-day operations, including stocking, cleaning, and monitoring product quality. While corporate guidelines exist, enforcement varies widely. Some locations excel, carefully managing inventory and adhering to safety and freshness standards. Others are under pressure to maximize efficiency and sales, often at the expense of quality. Staff shortages, inadequate training, and rushed shifts can turn a routine shopping trip into a frustrating or even unsafe experience. The result is a lottery for consumers. One visit may feel reliable, the next disappointing or risky. A carton of milk may be perfectly fine in one store, while the same brand is nearing expiration just a few kilometers away. Prepackaged meals might be stored correctly in one location, yet left out too long in another. Customers never truly know what they'll get until they check each item themselves. This variability doesn't just cause frustration, it also undermines trust. Shoppers expect a consistent experience when they choose a national brand. Instead, they encounter uncertainty and risk. Over time, this erodes confidence in Carrefour's promises of freshness, safety, and value. When combined with the corporate-driven shift toward processed, industrially produced goods, the gamble becomes even greater. You're not just buying groceries, you're navigating a system where quality and safety are inconsistent, and the odds are stacked in favor of the company, not the consumer. Shopping at Carrefour should feel safe, predictable, and trustworthy. Today, it often doesn't. Shopping at Carrefour doesn't have to be a gamble. There are practical steps you can take to protect your health, your wallet, and your family's well-being. The key is awareness and preparation. 1. Shop local when possible. Farmers markets, local bakeries, and small grocers often offer fresher, less processed products. Seasonal fruits and vegetables from nearby farms usually contain fewer preservatives and more nutrients than those shipped long distances and stored for weeks. 2. Read labels carefully. Check ingredients for hidden sugars, sodium, and artificial additives. Be wary of items labeled natural or fresh. These can still be ultra-processed. Compare products within the same category to find the healthiest option. 3. Limit ultra-processed foods. Pre-packaged meals, frozen pastries, and sugary snacks should be occasional treats, not daily staples. Treat items like these as convenience options for emergencies rather than routine purchases. 4. Plan and prep meals at home. A simple batch of homemade breakfast sandwiches or pre-chopped vegetables can save time and reduce dependence on processed store products. Home-cooked meals are usually cheaper, lower in sodium and sugar, and allow you to control portions. 5. Use price comparisons wisely. Promotions and multi-buy deals may seem like savings, but only buy what you genuinely need. Compare unit prices and prioritize quality over quantity. Following these steps empowers you to make informed decisions, break unhealthy routines, and gradually shift your family toward fresher, safer, and more nutritious foods. Convenience is tempting, but with a little planning, you can maintain both your health and your budget without compromising on choice or taste. Remember, the goal isn't to avoid Carrefour entirely. It's to shop smarter, more intentionally, and protect your family from hidden risks. Carrefour isn't inherently bad. Convenience, variety, and low prices are real benefits that millions of shoppers rely on every week. But it's also no longer a guarantee of quality, freshness, or health. Behind the bright aisles and promotional signage lies a system designed for efficiency and profit, not for your nutrition or safety. Ultra-processed foods, hidden additives, misleading pricing, and inconsistent store quality are all part of the picture. Every choice you make at the grocery store matters. When families and children consume highly processed, sugar-heavy, or sodium-laden products routinely, the long-term consequences are very real. Obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and habits that can last a lifetime. Even seemingly small decisions like choosing a pre-packaged pastry over fresh fruit or a homemade meal can add up over time. The goal isn't to fear Carrefour, nor to boycott it entirely. It's about awareness, intention, and critical thinking. Know what's in your cart, read labels, compare prices carefully, and consider alternatives. Opt for home-prepared meals, local markets, and less processed options whenever possible. Treat ultra-processed convenience foods as a backup, not a daily habit. Shopping intelligently is a form of empowerment. It allows you to protect your health, your family, and your finances while still enjoying the convenience that stores like Carrefour offer. Don't accept what's normalized without question. Think critically, read between the labels, and make informed choices. The decisions you make today ripple into your future well-being. Remember, convenience is tempting, but knowledge is power. Every grocery trip is a chance to prioritize health over habit, quality over speed, and awareness over assumption. If the hidden truths about Carrefour surprised you, brace yourself. This is just the beginning. What we uncovered here is a snapshot of a much larger problem in the way food is produced, marketed, and consumed. Behind every convenience store, supermarket chain, and seemingly affordable grocery item, there's a complex web of corporate decisions, engineered additives, and marketing strategies designed to keep you buying, not necessarily keeping you healthy. Next, we're turning our focus to school lunch programs across Canada and Europe. These are meals served daily to millions of children, meals that are supposed to nourish growing bodies and minds. But what we found is shocking. Ultra-processed foods, hidden sugars, misleading labeling, and corporate contracts that prioritize cost over nutrition. Children who are most vulnerable to forming lifelong eating habits are being fed a diet engineered for efficiency and profit, not for their health. We'll also dive into the food labeling scandals that rarely make headlines. Labels claiming natural, healthy, or low-fat are often misleading. One product might appear wholesome on the shelf, yet a closer look at the ingredients reveals high levels of sugar, sodium, preservatives, and chemical stabilizers. It's a system built on consumer trust, but with the science and marketing hidden behind fine print. This upcoming investigation will reveal how corporations, policymakers, and supply chains intersect to influence what families, schools, and individuals consume every day. You'll see shocking comparisons between what is advertised and what is actually delivered, uncover the financial and health impacts, and learn practical ways to protect your family from hidden risks. So if you want to stay ahead of these hidden dangers, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Don't miss our upcoming deep dive into school meals, food labeling, and the systems that shape your grocery cart from farm to table. Knowledge is your best defense, and we'll show you exactly how to see through the marketing, understand the labels, and make informed choices that safeguard your health, your family, and your wallet.